Let's talk to Rob Cooper. He's an executive director for Forbes Ventures. Morning, young Rob.
Good morning.
Right, we've got to kick off. You're a Stoke City fan, so
unfortunately so.
Shocking season, right?
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a better one next season, but we'll see.
I will keep my fingers crossed. Right, you are basically an investment company focused on disruptive technology in the property and fintech sectors and intangible assets of firms which are in those sectors. Market cap of circa 0.6 million, listed on NEX, and you've had a couple of recent announcements we can talk about later. What is disruptive technology to a simple man like me?
I think it's a phrase that can be applied across a number of sectors. For our purposes, it's financial services, perhaps stretching a little bit beyond financial services to professional services associated with the financial sector and the property sector. For me, it's about taking technology, about making markets more efficient, better experience for users on both sides of transactions.
Yep.
And with that efficiency normally comes more profitability for those companies in those sectors. And it's taking technology that consistently can be applied on those sort of sectors, enabling companies to scale up perhaps a lot more quickly than they would otherwise have done.
Right. So in terms of the financial sector and the property sector, is the technology very different?
No, I think in essence you are looking to make transactions and processes more efficient. So underlying technology from a purist perspective, no, not a great deal of different. To end user, yes, it'll feel very different, but the end purpose is still the same. You're looking to strip out cost and enable firms to grow a whole lot more quickly than they would otherwise have done.
Understood. So lots of these people in this modern day want to create new fintech, okay, but they don't actually provide the fintech that the end user wants, okay. How do you make sure you're building something that the end user wants?
Yeah, I think it's a fair comment. It's something that you see time and time again. So often people will create technology, excuse me, and then go looking for a market in which to deploy it.
Yep.
For me, the key is to identify the problem and then build a solution around the problem, knowing that you've got a market to deploy it into. And I think that's the key for us, is identifying those opportunities. We're certainly not in the game of building technology and then looking for a market for it.
But are basically financial companies and property companies happy for you to come in and basically run through their problems, open their books, if you like?
I think from our perspective, it's more about looking at disruption through new startups. I think the significant challenges for incumbent players with legacy people, legacy systems, trying to find the capacity for change in those organisations is often difficult. Whereas actually, if you can work with new startups to build lean operations from scratch, there's probably a whole lot more value to be added.
Right. Okay, so you've had a couple of recent announcements, I think May the 2nd and May the 9th. What were the headlines there?
So I guess over the past 6 months we've been building out the management team. We're fortunate to bring on a number of good people. Igor's joined us as non-exec with a substantial experience in fund management, lots of experience around investment propositions and scrutinising, I guess, target investments. Nigel's joined us as an experienced CFO, having led 2 northern building societies, knows the financial services sector well. And with that build of the management team, we've chosen, I guess, to redefine the strategy of the business,
Yep.
which, as you rightly say, is focused towards fintech and prop tech. And most recently, I guess, in terms of announcements, we've cleared out one of the equities that we previously held that was not aligned with the core strategy moving forward.
Right.
So I think it's a fair summary to say, we've been gearing up for the strategy, and the next 6 months should prove very interesting.
Okay, so if I'm a shareholder, what would I expect in the next 6 months?
I think you can start to see us deliver on the strategy that we've talked about for the last 6 months. That includes starting to look at the fintechs and prop techs that we've talked about supporting. We've got some interesting propositions that we're exploring in those sectors, which we firmly believe will offer some significant disruption and in return over the long term deliver significant shareholder value.
Right, excellent. Okay, so the $1 million question for me, putting my former hedge fund hat on, okay, why should I consider having your shares in my portfolio? Give me 3 good reasons.
Yeah, so I think picking out successful startups in the fintech, prop tech, or indeed legal tech or any other tech delivered sector requires significant experience, both of the technology and the underlying markets, identifying the opportunity, etc. What we're offering is an opportunity, I guess, to tap into those sectors, benefiting from our management experience and team's experience in working in those sectors and identifying propositions that deliver value without the need to go through that extensive due diligence and, I guess, to some extent, be targeting individual investment propositions.
Okay, on that note, final thoughts?
I think it's fair to say if you look at the history of the firm, it's been somewhat of a checkered past.
Yeah.
There's been questions raised around shareholder value, which I think is only fair given its history. But we're confident with new management team in place and with the propositions that are now well and truly on the horizon. The future is a bright one for Forbes Ventures.
Well, on that note, young Rob, I wish you well in the championship and indeed on your business ventures. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.